All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's webinar. I am super excited about tonight and our special guest, Fernie Ceballos. I know some of you either got notification of this webinar on my fan page or you got it through our our email list where you're a subscriber of. Either way, thank you so much for being a supporter and hanging out and getting updates from us because we're pretty excited about tonight. It's something a little bit different. Just to let you know, kind of a heads up for this week, we've got a big Facebook webinar coming up Thursday night. Bill's got a webinar Wednesday, so be on the lookout for those updates. And then we've got tonight's webinar. So for those of you that don't know Fernie, he's one of the co-founders of the No Excuses Summit. If you're not familiar with that, that is an event that's coming up in just a couple of weeks. And I pretty much got my start back in, I believe it was No Excuses 2 that we showed up at, and I had drug my husband there. And he was not part of the industry, so for those of you that know our story, you know that he was in corporate America. And he was basically working his job, 9 to 5, 9 to 6, while I was sitting at home trying to build my business on a very, very small budget. And what's cool is some of the things that we are going to be going over tonight is exactly the path that I took. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this entire training tonight, is because you're going to get to hear from Fernie the path that he wants to share with you, the blueprint, and it's the exact path I took. So early on, with not much of a budget, one of the things that I did that you'll definitely hear him talk about is the kind of partners and mentors that you're going to need to get moving in this business. And that's what I did early on. Is my original mentor, for those of you that don't know, was Mark Hoverson. And he happened to be speaking at this No Excuses 2 event, and that's where I brought my husband to. I was like, hey, it's in Vegas, will you at least come with me? And he was like, well, heck yeah, Vegas, I'm going to go to Vegas, at least I can party while you're at the event. And anyway, so I brought him there, and I happened to bring him in to listen to Mark speak on stage. And to my surprise, just because I worked so closely with Mark, I was one of those students that every time he said, do this, I put my blinders on, and I did it, and I came back. And it's funny because Mark would always say, really? You did this? Nobody does this. Nobody takes action like this, Michelle. This is amazing. So I was probably one of his little favorite students back then. And he got on stage, and one of his presentations really was, showing the examples in his presentation of some of the things I did. And it really helped push my business forward. It was amazing. So you're going to probably hear a little bit about that, on the importance of having a mentor. But at that time, like I said, it was so great to finally meet Fernie, Raymond, all the guys there. Made a lot of connections. So Fernie is the co-founder of No Excuses. I'm super excited to have him here tonight. He's going to tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to also jump into the training. But one thing that I wanted to point out, and I'm sure he'll share this too, is when we left No Excuses 2, I had just started making a couple of $1,000s a month. And when I walked out of that event, after soaking up all the knowledge I got from that weekend by forming new friendships and partnerships, my husband, Bill, which a lot of you know, 3 months later was able to walk out of his corporate America job and retire and work this business with us because of the stuff that I got, the information and the partnerships and the new friendships that I got from immersing myself with these people. This event was able to finally push our business to over $10,000 a month, where he was able to start working with us in the business. And from there, Fernie was so great, and Raymond, having us speak the next year and the following year, and we're going to be able to speak this year. I'm going to be actually speaking with Diane Hockman on stage, which I'm super excited about. So without further ado, I want to bring Fernie out. He's a great friend. I like to always call him a big brother to me. He seems to always take care of me. I don't know if you really know that about, that I say that about you, Fernie, but you do. You always take care of me, and I appreciate it. So I'm excited to have you here tonight to teach everybody what you're going to teach this evening.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for that intro. It's the biggest compliment in the world, more than making money in this industry, more than anything else. Seeing people like yourselves grow out of something that we've created, and just honored to have played a small role in your growth as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And also that our event played a role in bringing you and Bill together, bringing your marriage together, coming together so that you guys run your business together as one.
Yeah.
The fact that we contributed to that even a little bit is
Oh
just
my God, that a little bit. It was so much because it was that event that made him realize that I wasn't out getting scammed and and that there weren't just men out there trying to take my money, you know? And he finally got to meet the people that I was sitting on late night with I was on these webinars late at night and he kept hearing these voices and he finally realized these are real genuine people. So yeah, a little bit, man, I should really have given you more credit for that because seriously, it turned him into a believer to finally
awesome.
get around that.
Awesome. Well, he was right. We were trying to take your money, but we also wanted you to succeed.
Hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
so all right. Well, tonight, I'm gonna really, I take a no BS approach to teaching, especially with the fundamentals of online marketing. There's a lot of shiny objects, a lot of new courses out there, and you have everything from different ways to advertise. You have mobile apps now that are coming up, text messaging, it's very easy to get distracted by all that stuff. And not that that stuff is bad in any way, shape, or form, but for me, it still comes down to the fundamentals, the things I learned 6 years ago that allowed me to grow a six-figure and eventually a seven-figure business remain the number one things we should focus on today, even while we live in a world that's still evolving technologically. And so what I'm going to do is actually walk you through essentially my growth as an entrepreneur as it relates to internet marketing, and it actually mirrors the growth of Michelle as well, as I'll point out. And I want to bring to some perspective. If you're somebody who's been struggling for more than 6 months trying to figure it out, you haven't produced a single result over those first 6 months. And if you've been at it longer than that, then this is definitely for you. If you've been overwhelmed, frustrated, and are really looking to get results as quickly as possible, this is for you. And this is not, as you'll see, this is not a webinar where we lead you towards, buying something that actually solves the promise of the webinar. In this webinar, I'm going to give you exactly what you need, a roadmap, a blueprint that you need to follow. And regardless of who your mentor is, whether it's Michelle, I mean, I hope most of you are following Michelle. She's one of my favorite people in this industry. One of the few people who I know operates with 100% integrity and really truly cares about everybody. So I think what this webinar will do is bring in context what Michelle has already taught you and empower you to use her material as effectively and as efficiently as possible so you can get results quickly. So that's what this webinar is intended to do. Michelle did mention the No Excuses Summit. And so I want to briefly tell you about the No Excuses Summit and get that out of the way that, people wonder, okay, what are they going to sell me now on this webinar? Well, what we're hoping is that you'll come to the not that you'll come to the No Excuses Summit, because our tickets are sold out. If you want to inquire about possibly getting tickets to No Excuses, if any of them become available as a result of cancellations, then you can go to my support at noexcusessummit.com, or actually email us and see if we have any tickets available if you want to come physically. However, right now we are offering the live stream virtual ticket option. You can basically watch the entire event from the comfort of your own home. And we do ask that if you do this, you commit to the content, you commit to taking action. It does require a weekend-long commitment. We also have an option for the recordings in case you can't make that commitment. But ideally, what we want you to do is we want you to follow along with us as we help people get their marketing funnels launched and driving traffic that same weekend. Our goal with No Excuses is not to overwhelm you with information. I think you're pretty much done with being overwhelmed with information. Our goal is to walk you step by step through the exact things you need to do in order to produce a result. And our promise with No Excuses is if you do everything we ask you to do, by the second day, by mid Saturday, so the event starts at noon Friday, by mid Saturday, you will have launched your traffic campaigns, meaning you're actually driving traffic and getting leads. and that you'll basically be spending the next day and a half, the rest of Saturday and all of Sunday, watching those leads flow in as you continue to learn at the No Excuse Summit. So, what we hope is to have that create the popcorn effect at our live audience and also through our live stream audience, where all of a sudden, as we're presenting, as we're teaching, they just pop out of their chairs and somebody says, I got leads, I got my first lead," and all of a sudden, boom, everyone in the room starts saying, "I got leads for the first time in my career," and that's what we hope to do because we see that not enough people are taking the action necessary. They're going through a lot of advanced courses. They're spending a lot of money on coaching and all this other stuff, but they're not doing the initial fundamentals that actually produce results. Advanced stuff is great, and it enhances your ability to produce results if you've already produced results. But if you haven't produced results, advanced training is not going to do anything for you because you're not actually taking action. Now, No Excuses is based on a $5,000 hands-on workshop that we've been conducting for the past 3 years. We've pretty much dialed in the curriculum so that 100% of our attendees at these workshops are producing results out of the gate. So 100% of people that attended these hands-on workshops built their first lead funnel and drove traffic for the first time in their careers, and were producing results. Some even producing sales that weekend, and most definitely a lot of them were producing sales that same week. And so we've taken that tight curriculum and we've basically designed it for a mass audience that we're going to have in No Excuses. And this is our big experiment. We want to give people a $5,000 workshop type curriculum and give it to everybody that's attending at a fraction of the price. And so just so you know, and this is actually what I'm going to be walking you through on this webinar. What we go through at No Excuses, day 1, day 2, and day 3, I'm going to go into more depth on this webinar and spell out exactly how it is 6-figure and 7-figure businesses are built. And it's not one shot. You don't produce a 6-figure business overnight. It happens in steps. You have to make your first $100, then your first $1,000, then your first $5,000 month, then your first $10,000 month. It happens in progressions. I'm going to walk you through that progression, but with No Excuses. Our goal is to basically walk you through everything you need, the fundamentals that you need on day 1 for you to launch your first lead funnel. So basically everything you see in this picture is in place and established so that by day 2 you can start driving traffic using Facebook and another traffic method we call pay-per-view marketing. We'll also, and during No Excuses, for those attending live, we're going to have breakout sessions where people can work in groups, and we have leaders in the room that help people. If you're watching virtually, then of course we just expect you to work from home during these breaks and implement as much as you can. Everything is click by click, step by step. And then once people have launched their traffic campaigns, we launch into the fun stuff, the advanced training, which includes ad optimization and conversion strategies, as well as some very cool traffic strategies. And on day 3, we actually we continue our curriculum. But what I'm most excited about is Michelle and Diane Hockman have agreed to team up, and they're going to be conducting a very special hour-long session on social media marketing psychology. I liked Diane's explanation as to the value that this brings. A lot of people learn the click-by-click type of stuff, the how-to, but they don't really understand what's happening. They don't understand it on a fundamental level. They don't understand why it works. And that why is so important because once you understand why it works, you no longer have to go through marketing courses to understand how to market. You don't have to, the next shiny object that's released, you don't have to buy it because fundamentally you know how most advertising platforms and social media platforms work, and you could intuitively, as if it's second nature, be able to figure out how to be successful with any social media platform and understand the social dynamics, understand why certain things work with certain people and why other things don't work. And so that's considered advanced training in my eyes because first you have to do, like Michelle said with Mark when she talked about Mark Hoverson. Mark Hoverson told her to do something and she did it without questioning it. But then later on, she came to understand why it is Mark told her to do certain things and implement certain things. And that empowered her to be less dependent on her mentors and more independent. And now she's mentoring other people. So that's the progression for No Excuses. That's how it's going to go. So I just want to get that out of the way so you understand what it is we're focused on right now and how we're using No Excuses now as a vehicle for empowering people to produce their first results out of the gate. So you can learn more about No Excuses and getting virtual access through noexcusesummit.com/go. I'll be talking about some bonuses that we're offering people that are going to be that are on this webinar, exclusive to people on this webinar tonight. If you get your live stream virtual ticket by tonight, so at the end of the webinar, I'll talk about those bonuses. But I just wanted to get that out of the way, know what it is that we're promoting, and so you can relax. There's no salesy pitch and all this stuff happening. I want to get into the content now. And you'll see, we'll come full circle. We'll come back to No Excuses as we go to the content, and you'll see how it all ties together and how clear the benefit of even joining us virtually. And if you can, be able to join us in person, how beneficial it can be, as it was for Michelle a few years ago. So tonight's training is our 100% success formula. It's exactly what we did at these $5,000 workshops over the past few years that got us to a point where every single person that walked into that room, that workshop that we would hold in either LA or in Orlando, why it is we were able to create these results with ordinary people, people of all ages, all backgrounds. Most of them had no technical experience aside from being able to check their email and turn on their laptop. That's pretty much the extent of their background and experience. And so what we did was pretty simple, and I want to walk you through that process, and I want to walk you also through the progression as to how somebody gets to six figures. Now, my promise tonight is that you will have clarity on what you need to take action on and what you need to build a six-figure business. Now, this is our agenda for tonight, and tonight's training will include, first and foremost, I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to walk you through what it is we're going to do, and then immediately right now, I want to hear from you guys. So if you guys in the question box that's on your screen, if you guys can tell me what it is you're promoting, what business you're in, whether it's MLM, you're promoting an online system, MLSP, MOB, or whatever it is what you're focused on, your primary thing you're focused on building, let me know what that is. I want to know. So as you do that on the question box, I'm going to run through tonight's agenda. So obviously, I'm going to listen to you right. I'm going to see what you guys have typed in so I understand where you guys are coming from so I can best serve you guys tonight. I'm also going to walk you through the journey we do not want you to take, meaning there's certain things we did early on in my career that cost me a lot of money and ended up wasting a lot of time, essentially. It's something actually that Michelle managed to circumvent as a result of her mentorship through Mark Hoverson and also as a result of her decision to come to No Excuses. I spent 2 years fumbling around spending a lot of money. I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about that because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made. I want you to basically keep most of your money in your bank account and give you the opportunity to grow that bank account further. I'm going to break down the anatomy of a six-figure business. Like I said, walk you through the progression as to how a six-figure business is built and how you can take that six-figure business and very quickly scale it to a seven-figure business. And I will also talk about some of the training you will need later on in this webinar. And you're going to need to find partners and mentors. Now, obviously, this partners and mentors is not something you're going to find on this webinar because we're here virtually training you. But it's imperative that you do everything you can. If you can't make it to this No Excuses, that you choose to make it to the next event that's advertised and promoted where we'll be there. And definitely make it next year live and in person at the next No Excuses. The reason why is because we want to connect with you. And we find that the people we personally are able to connect with are the people most likely to produce results to actually succeed in this industry. Michelle managed to create a direct relationship between herself and Mark Culbertson. I would say, Michelle, tell me if you agree that that relationship, basically saved you a lot of money and a lot of time, as opposed to if you had gone on your own and tried to do everything yourself. Uh,
Absolutely.
is that
Yeah.
is
I
that
mean,
correct?
yeah, absolutely. Because, when I chose to follow him, and it was one of those things that I was the type of person that I only chose one person, maybe two, but not laser focused. And I knew Mark had a blueprint at that time to success. With what he was doing, it was in line with what I was doing way back then.
Hmm.
And so I knew that all I had to do was follow the path that he had already gone down, and he saved me a lot of time from making the mistakes that he made. He was able to stop me from doing those, or at least tell me. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times I wanted to do things. I'm going to be completely honest. And he would laugh at me and he would tell me, no, you're crazy if you're going to do that. And here's why. And I, lost the ego and said, all right, I'm going to do what you say. And I did it. And it did. It saved me a lot of time. And I was able to also just stay very focused and laser focused on that blueprint, because I would have been trying to figure it out on my own, testing, trying to figure out what worked, what didn't, blowing money when I probably didn't need to, when Mark already had the answers. And that's what's
Right.
great about having a mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so that's going to be step number 5. I'll be talking a little bit about finding mentors. I mean, I already told you a little bit as to one way you can find mentors, but you don't necessarily have to wait for the next event. It's about taking. I mean, Mark took an interest in you because you took action, and
Right.
you started producing results as a result of that action, and so he saw somebody he can work with because you were taking action. So that's part of the strategy, if you will, you use to find mentors, is that you implement their material and start getting results. If you don't get results, they're not going to take an interest in you. All right, so there's the focus. I need you guys to commit to this webinar for the next 90 minutes or so, or actually for the next hour or so. We're already about 20 minutes in. Eliminate distractions. Tape your babies to the wall. Whatever you need to do.
That's the
Take.
funniest picture ever.
uh,
Yeah, I do
take
that with my dogs too.
absolutely.
All
Yeah.
right,
I mean,
cool.
I bear no responsibility if you get arrested, but it's
I
up
think
to
a
you.
lot of people would be upset if I did that to poor Scout and Taz.
Definitely take a notepad out, and we'll do some Q&A at the end. So write down your questions as the webinar progresses, and we'll take care of those at the end of the webinar, to make sure we're clear on everything we'll be imparting on you. Now, I just want to look quickly over here at the question box. A lot of you guys already responded. A big chunk of you are in network marketing. A few of you are promoting MLSP. And then a couple of people are promoting Mob, which is awesome. So great. So I'm talking to mostly network marketers, but there's a few people that are focused on online systems, online programs like MLSP and Mob, which is great. All right, so this will definitely be applicable to you guys. And for the MLM crowd, I want to bring a few things into context so you know what it is you're dealing with as you engage with the online world. So I want to first start with my story, or the story of myself and my business partner. My name is Fernie Ceballos. My business partner is Raymond Fong. He's the if the names didn't give it away, he's the Asian guy right there, and I'm the Mexican guy in the back. And so our background is actually a technical background. We were disgruntled engineers, frustrated Amway IBOs. We were actually distributors for Amway when we got started in this industry. We were unsatisfied with our jobs. We were looking for something better. My background is actually I went to MIT, studied engineering there at MIT. Raymond went to Harvey Mudd, and we both met at graduate school at USC while we were simultaneously working in the aerospace industry as engineers. As pretty soon after starting my job, I knew it was something I did not want to do for the rest of my life, and spent a few years trying to figure out what it is I could do to get out of it. And Raymond, actually introduced me to Amway. And at the time, I was pretty ignorant, and no one else was offering me an opportunity that could potentially, you know, save me from my job. So I said, "What the heck?" And I jumped into Amway. Had some pretty good success in the beginning. We built quite a team, but pretty soon our warm market and our ability to replenish our lead flow through cold prospecting ran out. And as our sources for leads and prospects went cold, so did those of our downline, and our organizations began to shrink. And pretty soon we were the last two men standing. We had built a big team, had pins in Amway, and then all of a sudden, it was the last men standing were Raymond and myself. So naturally, we decided to partner. We actually went online in back in 2006 and found a marketing system called magnetic sponsoring, and it was the first system or the first piece of training that actually spoke intelligently about how to market and promote a network marketing business and how to use scientific methods, scientific advertising methods, how to use advertising. These were foreign concepts to us. We were told to, basically badger friends and family and talk to random people, prospect at Walmart, that type of stuff. So obviously, when we're introduced to a very methodical way of building a business, it was intriguing for us, and especially intriguing since we're very logic-oriented engineers, and so it resonated with us. Marketing online resonated, but first we needed to actually get some of the fundamentals down. So in this training, which is very similar to a lot of the training you've already been exposed to, if you're part of MLSP, you're already familiar with some of these concepts, or any of your mentors that are doing internet marketing that are in the MLM or online space. Very similar stuff, but in magnetic sponsoring, Mike Dillard, the author of magnetic sponsoring, told us to do just a couple things, very simple instructions. He wanted to keep it simple for us. So instructions for making money. Now, this was not to promote our network marketing business. It was to just get our beak wet with internet marketing and get some results. So I invested. He said to invest and study in a PPC traffic course. So that was his first instruction: learn pay-per-click marketing. Much like you guys are learning from Michelle now, you're learning pay-per-click. You guys are, as you'll see, you guys are a lot more wise than I was by investing in Michelle's course, because initially I did not invest, as you'll see, and you'll see what the result was. So that was his first instruction. The second instruction was using that knowledge, drive traffic to a marketing system's capture page. That marketing system being magnetic sponsoring. Now you guys have MLSP, you have MOB, you have all these different marketing systems that didn't exist back then. Back then it was only magnetic sponsoring. And so, but that's what we did. We drove traffic to the magnetic sponsoring capture page, which is the only system back then. However, and so before I get to what we did, the concept that Mike Dillard introduced to us was called the magic slot machine. And ideally, that's how an advertising campaign should be. You put a little money in and you get more money out than you initially put in. And a magic slot machine happens when you find a converting offer, and that converting offer becomes like a magic slot machine. For me, eventually it did become magnetic sponsoring. I think, Michelle, the first system you ever promoted was MLSP. Was that correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
So MLSP in your early career was your magic slot machine. You promoted some ads, you drove traffic to the system, and you made some money. Is that pretty much it?
Absolutely. I mean, when I was struggling looking for something, I found MLSP. It answered, those questions and gave me all the tools that I needed to leverage, and voila, that's what I started. I mean, still promote it to this day, but that's what we started out with.
Yeah, and it's actually how the majority of leaders in this industry start off. So, and when I say offer, I just want to define a term real quick. Offer simply means to make available, to place on sale. With internet marketing, an offer is something of value in exchange for either contact information or money. So when somebody opts into a capture page, that's a transaction is taking place in exchange, but it's not for money; it's for contact information. But that's still valuable, and so that is an example of an offer. An offer could also be something for sale. In Michelle's case, her offer was MLSP at the time, and now I believe she has her system with her relationship now with MOB, and that's her offer that she's really pushing right now. And so an offer, ideally what you want with an offer is you want it to convert, you want it to make money for you. And so finding your magic slot machine could be as simple as plugging into the right offer. Now, our magic slot machine back in the day, like I said, was magnetic sponsoring because there was nothing else. Now, my first attempt at doing what Mike told me was, first of all, to ignore his first instruction. Uh, I did exactly what Michelle mentioned earlier about not letting my ego go. I said, I'm smart enough. I can figure out this PPC thing. I don't need to study anything or invest. I'll just skip that part and jump right in. And so I spent $1,000 on pay-per-click ads in a very short period of time, and I made about $100 in commissions, which is obviously that's not a good conversion rate. I stunk up I stunk up the joint the first time I tried doing internet advertising, and so obviously that wasn't a good approach. So the first lesson that came out of that, and it was a very expensive lesson, it cost me exactly $900 to learn this lesson, was listen to your mentors. And these have to be trusted mentors like Michelle, myself, Mark Hoverson. When they tell you something, take it to heart. Unless you're an expert in marketing, don't question it and just do it. And the lesson was shortcuts will cost you more money. If you try to skip a step, especially if it's a step that a trusted mentor gave you, it will very likely, more often than not, end up costing you more money than if you actually did what they asked you to do. So I took that to heart, and I invested in myself. I invested about $700 in my education after learning that $900 lesson. I purchased a product called MLM Traffic Formula, and this was the old school original MLM Traffic Formula. It's not for sale anymore, but back then it cost about $500. It taught me actually the very basics of PPC advertising. At the time, it was for Google. Now you have Facebook and Twitter and other platforms. But at the time, we were doing PPC advertising with Google. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't screw this up again. So I actually purchased an additional course that was also on pay-per-click advertising, and it cost me about $197. So that's a total of $700 invested in myself on a very specific thing, a very specific topic that my mentor told me to study. So obviously, it's very strategic. At this point, I'm not chasing shiny objects. So attempt number 2 resulted in learning to drive traffic, and now I was educated. And I spent $30 on PPC ads and made $320. So that's a huge turnaround. I pretty much, I don't know, what is that conversion rate? 1,000% almost, or over 1,000%? So
You're not asking the math whiz here. That's
yeah, I mean, I'm the one who went to MIT, but I suck with simple math.
I look at that and I'm going, okay, that's a profit. You know, that's good. That's I can live with. Not the spend $1,000, make 100.
Yeah, exactly. So attempt number 3, I ended up making more money and more money. And what resulted in basically, once I found this magic slot machine, it was just churning out money week after week, month after month. It continued like that for about 2 years. I was making an easy, passive $500 to $1,000 per month. And so my lesson to you guys is you want to pretty much mimic and follow this exact blueprint, because this is the blueprint that every leader starts off with. Every leader, like Michelle, starts off, they plug into a certain system, and they just simply focus on driving traffic to that system. We learned a few other traffic strategies over time, continued to drive traffic to the magnetic sponsoring offer, and continue to make money. And we started making even more money on top of the $500 to $1,000 per month as more courses were released by the system. In this case, magnetic sponsoring released Black Belt Recruiting, Building on a Budget, and other courses. We ended up making more money, so the money actually compounded. And so that money compounded, and obviously we are, that was the beginning of what resulted in now what we have a few years later, a 6-7-figure business. So that's if it didn't drive this home already, I want to drive it home now. This is what you need to do. You need to plug into an offer. Hopefully it's something your mentor is doing, and just put your all into driving that traffic, mastering traffic, learning it as your first step. Once you do that, you'll be able to make money and be able to fund everything else that comes after that, investing in advanced courses and more coaching and training. But this is the first step. Now, one of the things I did that was a mistake in my career, and this is where I get into the things I do not want you to do, is after I had this initial success, I went off and started chasing shiny objects. I didn't focus. What I should have done is I should have scaled, this offer even more. I should have scaled the traffic towards the magnetic sponsoring offer and build on top of it. And I could have easily, within a few months, built, had a six-figure business. But what we did instead was we started chasing all these shiny objects, all these things that had nothing to do with what we initially started doing. I mean, back then they were the equivalent of what a mobile app is now. If you ever bought a course on how to make money with mobile apps, well, that's cool if you want to go into the mobile app space, but it has nothing to do with the internet marketing space. And so back then we invested in similar things, got very distracted, spent a lot of money, and over the course of 2 years, between my business partner and I, we spent $150,000 in things we did not need to invest in coaching programs and advanced, quote unquote, advanced strategies, other courses, etc. And it wasn't until 2 years later, after $150,000 poor and 2 years lost, that we came back full circle and plugged into our mentors for magnetic sponsoring, directly formed a relationship with Mike Dillard and Tim Irway. And from that point on, upon forming that relationship, 8 months later, we quit our jobs. And so what's resulted as oh, sorry about that. Something weird has happened with my
No, and
computer.
I hope everybody understands on that last slide that they saw. And for the people that know me well, I've always said the fastest way to success is going to honestly be paid traffic. I know a lot of people have a
Yep.
very small budget. I can relate to that. I had it too when I started out. I had my little measly $1 to $5 a day budget, but I found a way to extract that money out of my, extras, I call them, in my life. And I put that money into my advertising because I got that concept.
Mm-hmm.
So on that slide, you didn't see anything that was free. You saw paid traffic. And that's really, and I'm very honest with everybody up front that, you really got to be doing paid traffic if you want results fast. I'm cool if you want to do free strategies. It's just you got to understand and manage your expectations that it's just going to take longer.
Yep.
So I like that you had that slide. And I wanted people to really look at that and see that. And, I'm glad that you're very honest. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that about the mistakes you made about spending all that money up front. Luckily, I didn't do that. That doesn't
Right.
make me any better, but you see the difference. I got
Well,
that mentor early on to avoid from doing that because I definitely would have spun myself out of business fast and I wouldn't be here today if I'd have gone that route.
yeah, and Michelle, I almost did spend myself out of business. I was on the verge
Yeah,
of bankruptcy, as a result of very foolishly investing in a lot of different uh, courses and programs that were completely irrelevant. If I had
right.
invested that money towards, building on top of what I initially had created, who knows where I'd be now. But the point is, I eventually figured it out. As you can see on the left there, in the picture in the middle, that's one of my original mentors, Tim Irway, who is now a business partner of mine. He's a business partner along with Matt Crystal, his best friend. They're business partners in the No Excuses Summit. So since learning those hard lessons and digging ourselves out of that hole, we've been in multiple publications. We obviously have created multiple businesses, multiple brands, SEO Networker, No Excuses, multiple products that teach people the things that we want them to focus on. We've actually don't teach SEO anymore, and the reason why we don't teach SEO is for the same reasons that Michelle just stated. We want people to focus on the paid strategies, even if it's $5 a day, or $5 every other day. That'll get you to where you want to be faster than if you focus exclusively on paid strategies. That was part of our big expenditures. Is that SEO back then was extremely expensive. So it's much harder and more expensive now. We still do it, but obviously we have the resources to be able to do that. But it's not a starting point I would recommend for people. So bringing home some of the lessons that Michelle shared, and also what I want to convey to you guys is why we succeeded is, first and foremost, we found an offer that worked. And once you find an offer that works, you should be focusing on driving traffic and promoting that offer first. You want to keep things simple. and not inject too many variables. A lot of people try to build an entire sales funnel from scratch from the beginning when they have no experience with marketing or building funnels. I'll tell you that is a mistake. The reason why that's a mistake is because you don't know, once you launch a funnel that's completely built from scratch, you drive traffic into it and something doesn't work. You don't At that point you can't figure out what didn't work. Was it the traffic? Was it the capture page? Was it the sales letter? You can't isolate problems. So if you first focus on promoting an offer that you know is good and that it's converting for other people, then at least you can have some reassurance that that offer will convert. And if you only focus on traffic and get that to convert until you are able to make money, then at least you can zero in on the problem. If you drive traffic and it doesn't work, but you know the offer is working for other people, then there's probably something wrong with your traffic source or the
So,
way you're doing that traffic.
so yeah, and let me add something into that if you don't mind. I get a lot of people that'll email me and they'll say, "Okay, I've created a Facebook ad. I've done everything you said. I'm not getting any opt-ins." And my first response to, and some of you on here may have asked me that, is maybe it's your offer. So it's one of those things. It's like it's not necessarily it. Maybe it's not the traffic. It could be your offer is not converting. And then also, I know when we start any new program, like when we just started to do MOB about 60 days ago, I only drove traffic to my affiliate link that they gave me. I didn't create a sales funnel. I didn't create my own capture pages yet. I did that for 30 days straight to make sure that product would convert. And it did. And once I knew it did, that's when I was able to build out. And another thing my mentor said early on was, why are you building the train tracks from here to Alaska when they could break right here in the beginning? You've just wasted all your time building those train tracks all the way to Alaska when there's a breakage right here in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why that really painted a vivid picture in my mind of keep it simple. I think so many people like just over complicate things. Keep it simple. And still to this day people go, "Wow, you did so awesome in that contest. How did you do that? Did you create your own sales funnel?" I was like, "No, I drove traffic to the page that was given to me by the people who created the program." It's so important to keep it simple.
And Michelle, you've won so many of our contests in the past for No Excuses and SEO Networker. You've come out on top, and all you did was just drive traffic to it.
Yes. Yeah, and then you can start adding in the fancy stuff after, you start mastering. I didn't do that early on. We've been in this industry for a little over 4 years now. Got into a new program. I didn't create a big, huge sales funnel like the big gurus out there are doing. I just drove traffic to a page. And now I know it works, so now I can get more creative because I do have that experience to do that now. But again, if somebody at our level started simple.
Yeah,
Same thing, do it to this day.
And I'll tell you, even today, when we build an entire sales funnel from scratch, 5 times out of 10, it doesn't work. Even with our background and experience, it still doesn't work the first time. So of course, I don't expect a brand new person to be able to do the same thing and build an entire funnel. Focus on what's already out there that's converting and working. You have a lot of choices, and you have a great mentor in Michelle to kind of point you to the right offers. Now this by basically adopting this rule of simplicity, it allows you to learn from successes and failures. When you have an entire funnel built from scratch, you can't learn because you don't know what's wrong, so you can't fix it. But when you can isolate a problem to a certain aspect of that funnel, it's much easier to find the issue, and it's much easier to correct it, and it's much easier to learn from that mistake and pretty much not do it again. So you can pretty much quickly figure out what's wrong, correct it, and move on. And so that's why keeping it simple and not overwhelming yourself is important. So what I'm actually telling you right now is if you're somebody who's spent thousands and thousands of dollars and have been around for longer than 6 months, you're doing it wrong. You're not keeping things simple. You're not focused on the lessons of our story and that I've talked about over the past few minutes. And that needs to change. You need to focus on simplicity. Focus on traffic, and let allow somebody else to take care of the conversion for now. Now, and I want to walk you through the progression is how you get from that point. How do you get from keeping your business very simple, and how do you scale and grow it to six figure, multiple six figures, and even a seven figure business? So on the big scale, this is what a six figure business looks like. It's actually very simple. First, you have traffic. We already covered that. You drive that traffic to a capture page. This is the capture page. If you're brand new, that's being provided for you by a system, by someone who owns an offer. If you're in Mob, they probably provide capture pages for you. I will say, and I will address this in a few minutes. Most MLM companies that provide you capture pages, those capture pages don't work. And the
Glad
reason
you
they
said
don't,
that.
yeah, most MLM capture pages don't work. Their conversions are horrible. The reason why is because the company is not focused on conversions; they're focused on keeping themselves out of trouble. And so they keep these capture pages very vanilla and not very well constructed or designed. So you want to eventually, as a network marketer, that's the aspect of this online blueprint that you have to take control of for yourself. I'm going to dive into that, but I just wanted to put that out there. So after somebody opts in, meaning they give you their information, they become your lead, they're presented with an offer to buy something, an offer to join something. It could be even an offer to have a consultation with you, get on the phone with you, and hopefully after that you make some money. So that's an ideal world. That's how it works. But if they don't initially buy from you, then you already have their information, and you use an automated system called an autoresponder, which sends emails on autopilot to those people that opted into that capture page, and again builds a connection with them. Presents more as to what it is, what value you're actually offering them, maybe teaches them something, and reassures them that they're at the right place at the right time, and then again reintroduce the offer, and it happens over and over again until they either unsubscribe from your list or they buy something. This is pretty much what a six-figure business looks like. Now I want to break this down and actually go into how it goes into progressions. What I described earlier about creating that initial blueprint that I created in my business, and what Michelle initially did with MLSP, is this first step. And actually, from my experience, what I did back then to produce about $10,000 a year is actually now equivalent to about $24,000 per year. If you did exactly the same thing I did last year, I mean, when I got started with most of the online systems that are working today, you can very easily create an extra income of about $24,000 a year. And this is what it looks like. You have the traffic, you have the capture page, which I talked about before. You have an offer to introduce them to. And of course, hopefully you make money once they buy that offer. And you have the emails like I described before, and which reintroduces them to the offer. But here's what you're responsible for. And this will be, I don't know, the 10th time I've told you this, but I'll say it again. Focus on traffic. If you take care of this part, you focus on mastering and getting really good at traffic, and allow the system owner to take care of everything else, even the capture page initially. Now, the only exception to this rule would be if you're in an MLM company, because most of their capture pages suck. Sorry if I'm offending you, but they do. And so you'll probably have to take this on as well. So you'll have to also take on the creation of a capture page, and I'll go into what it takes to create a capture page in a little bit. But you have to take this on as well. But the offer is obviously going to be your MLM company. It's your MLM opportunity, and the capture page can offer them a new way of making money that's easy and doesn't cost them doesn't inconvenience them too much. And then you lead them towards an opportunity for them to speak to you on the phone, or you call them up and present the offer. And the offer is going to be your opportunity. And you can have email follow-up sequences that tell them more about what it is, what the benefits are of joining your business, that continues to follow up with them and invites them to talk to you on the phone and convert them to your business. Now, if you're not an MLM, if you're promoting an exclusively online program, then you pretty much let that system do the work for you. If you're in Mob, they have capture pages. Why are you going to design your own capture page if they've already tested a few of them? If you're an MLSP, they have a lot of already working capture pages. They're not going to be perfect. They're not going to be, one of the interesting things that I'll get to in a little bit is that once you start taking control of more aspects of this entire blueprint, then you start making money. But initially, you just want to get results. And even if the system owner didn't do this perfectly, even if the system owner doesn't have the best sales letter, even if they don't provide the best emails, you still have the potential of making quite a bit of money. I mean, this is not going to retire most people, but it is some extra chunk of change that can become useful for most families. And if this is all you do, then I'd say a good majority of people in this world will be very happy with an extra 24K a year and coming into their family. That's I'm assuming. I hope they're not satisfied, but most people are probably going to be satisfied here at this step.
And I don't know if you're going to clarify or not for those in the MLM, because I don't want them to get frustrated. Think, well, where do I stand in this if my MLM capture page doesn't work? I just want to share that when I started out in this industry, I started out in network marketing. And what I realized was it was a health and wellness business. So to paint a picture for you guys here is my capture page was a free health report. Or it was like a free weight loss, diet tips or tricks or something. And so I targeted people that were looking to lose weight, and they got to my capture page, which was promoting this PDF report on how to lose weight or 7 tips or strategies. I can't remember it back then, but they would opt in, go to that email list. I would have their phone number, and when I got on the phone and communicated with them, that's where my offer to my MLM came in. And then when I got out of that health and wellness industry and got into some other stuff, that's where MLSP played a big role for me, because all I was looking for was to target other network marketers. Mm-hmm. And MLSP gave me those pages to do that. And so I hope that helps a little bit for those of you in MLM, that there are ways that you got to lead with something that's going to get people to opt in within your niche. And then you went through your emails or on phone conversations, you can get them to your main offer.
Yeah, and also one of the things I recommend to my clients who are network marketing, they want to build a network marketing business. I tell them, now I know this is your goal, but I want you to learn traffic first. I want you to learn it properly. And so what I recommend is for the first month or two, promote an existing offer that's out there online, just as a way for you to get your feet wet, for you to learn how to drive traffic, place ads. That's exactly what I did with magnetic sponsoring. I generated customers first, made some money. I was like, wow, this stuff really works. And then later on, I started building a funnel exclusively for my MLM business, meaning I created my own capture page. So you take this in steps. You can choose to skip the step and zero in right on your MLM, but you're not going to have that experience of that first success down as soon as we would like you to have that success. So now, as far as driving traffic, so how do you drive traffic? Well, it's a lot easier than you think. It actually is probably the easiest part of the entire blueprint, in my opinion. Our top recommended paid methods for driving traffic are PPV, which is pay-per-view, and Facebook PPC, because they're fast, easy, and effective. If you're going to use a free traffic strategy, so I know there's a few of you who are really tight. I mean, if you spend any money on this, it takes away from putting food on your table, and I understand that. The only free traffic strategy I would recommend that can produce results more quickly than not is YouTube video traffic. So this is the only exception, in my opinion. It's the only I've seen YouTube traffic produce traffic and leads, within a few weeks. And then scale very quickly once it gets going. It's a very high quality traffic source, so I like YouTube. However, if you want to produce leads tomorrow, it's not going to cut it. You're going to need to focus on paid advertising. And so even some of our students who got their start doing video traffic through YouTube are now shifting to paid methods, because they don't want to, have their entire business rely on their YouTube channel. And at one point, YouTube decides that they don't like their YouTube channel anymore and shut it down, they lose their business. So the only way to truly have control over your business is going to be through paid advertising with PPV and Facebook. Now, you already have access to an incredible mentor to Facebook, so I'm not going to go too much into this stuff because Michelle is the only resource you're going to need as far as this topic is concerned. Um, but we recommend Facebook pay-per-click ads, so not necessarily messaging people, basically spamming people on Facebook and friending a gazillion and one people. That's not the Facebook strategy we recommend. We recommend Facebook PPC ads specifically for beginners, for new people. What we'd like to have them do first, because it's the fastest way to gain traction, is we have them do something called newsfeed ads. Newsfeed ads, we have them do it through something called dark or hidden post. What that means is basically you don't need a Facebook following in order to be effective with these type of newsfeed ads. You don't need a big, you don't need a lot of fans. You don't need friends. You can do this with a brand new Facebook account. So through dark and hidden posts, basically your ads appear in the middle. This is an example. This isn't a news feed. This isn't my news feed. This is somebody who's one of our students. Actually, his name is Shane Hunter, and he created a Facebook ad in the news feed, which appeared on my news feed. And this is what an example of what that newsfeed ad looks like. It blends in with the rest of your friends' updates. So that means it gets a lot of attention and it gets a lot of clicks. And as a result, it produces a lot of leads in a very short period of time. The sidebar ads, the ads on the right side, are fine too. There's a lot of great marketers that use these very effectively. But I would consider this a little bit of more advanced strategy. I mean, Michelle, tell me if you agree, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not the expert you are on Facebook, but I've certainly walked people through the process of producing their first leads, and they more easily produce leads using newsfeed ads as opposed to the ads on the right side.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm doing a training tomorrow night, and they asked me to show people the quickest way to generate leads, and I said, all right, I'm going to show them these newsfeed ads. I mean, that would be the very first place I would tell anybody to go to if they're going to be looking to get their very first. Because the right-hand side, you're absolutely right. It's even though it's the same type of process you go through, it's a lot more advanced in your targeting and how you're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's marketers that are using it, they're making money,
Yeah.
but you know,
They don't convert as well for me with my type of marketing. They don't convert as well. Mobile ads, like Facebook newsfeed ads on the mobile device, convert the best, and then the newsfeed here on the desktop. And then the right hand side's the last for me.
Awesome. So great, I was right. Yay.
Of
So
course.
So, and I know I'm right because we've done this for the past year and a half. We've walked our students through this exact same process over and over again, and it works without fail. They produce results very quickly. And the only thing they need in order to get this going, aside from obviously being trained by an expert like Michelle, is a Facebook account, a simple capture page, and offer that converts. So whatever that may be, MLSP, magnetic sponsoring, EMP, MOB, whatever you choose to want to promote, that's your offer. And then you need a Facebook ad. You need to write some ad copy. So that means writing a simple ad and maybe adding a picture so it attracts more attention. And you want to target according to interest. So basically, you want to, if you're selling a weight loss product, you're going to target fans of like the Jenny Craig page and the Sensa page, and I don't even know what other weight loss programs are out there, but obviously you want to target people that are already looking to lose weight if you're promoting a weight loss product or a weight loss offer. If you're promoting a make money offer, then obviously target people that are following following systems. They're following make money systems that are out there. So very simple. I mean, the targeting is very simple. You attract it according to who they're following, who are their fans of. And you also have the option, this is a little bit more advanced strategy. You can upload lead lists, meaning from your email list or scraping software, you can actually create a custom list and target people according to an email list you already have. Or you can also harvest user IDs from Facebook depending on what they're actually, what groups they're a part of, what fan pages they're following, etc. But what we do at our workshops first and foremost focuses on interest, because that gives you the ability to target the most people, therefore garner the most interest. So the other strategy that I recommend as far as pay-per-view, traffic, is pay-per-view marketing. So this is a little bit more advanced, but a lot of beginner students get this right away and they get results pretty quickly with pay-per-view. It's permission-based marketing, and basically how the way it works is there are these pay-per-view or PPV networks that essentially bribe random people with free stuff. They bribe them with games, toolbars, screensavers, software. You've probably maybe been to your parents or your grandparents' home and went on their PC and they have ads popping up and all this other stuff. They probably are tagged with one of these PPV networks. And so an example of how somebody would get engaged with a PPV network is GameVance.com. I don't recommend you install any software from GameVance.com because then you'll become a target for my ads. So, but what happens is in exchange for whatever free goodies that they get, they basically allow marketers to market to them. And you would think there's not a lot of people on these programs or on these networks, but there's millions, multiple millions of people to market to. It is the biggest repository of people to market to that I've ever seen that works really well. It's lots of inexpensive traffic if you're trained, of course. You have to be trained. Don't try to jump into this on your own without being trained first. But it's tons of inexpensive traffic that you could potentially attract using PPV. And here's how it works. So once somebody is part of this network, they're just browsing. They're just using their computer for everyday stuff. And let's say your target market, you're promoting MLSP. And you want to attract other network marketers. And so you basically target URLs. You bid on actual web URLs. So you can actually, one of the URLs you bid on could be Amway.com or Herbalife.com or ACN.com or whatever. And whenever one of these people on these networks goes to Amway.com, very likely if they're going to Amway.com, they're a distributor for Amway. Or if they go to Herbalife.com, they're a distributor for Herbalife, etc. Go wild. There's literally thousands and thousands of potential targets if you're using this way of approaching it for your offer. And then what happens is when they go to Amway.com, pretty soon a pop-up opens up on their page. And this is an actual ad that we run. And we actually run it on Amway.com. And it says, "Attention struggling Amway distributors." Obviously, that's going to get their attention. How to personally sponsor 107 reps into your business in 60 days or less with one simple website. Enter your name and email, and I'll show you my 7-day attraction marketing bootcamp. So this is a very compelling offer, and this page right here converts at about 6%, meaning 6% of the people that are on these networks that go to Amway.com will become a lead for my business. And this is, I believe MLSP has a very similarly designed capture page in their system. So if you're part of MLSP, you can use this. I'm pretty sure Mob has a similar style. This is the best converting page that we've run. It's very simple, plain white background, red text. It just works. If you choose to add images or video, the conversions go down, oddly enough. So this is how it works. So whatever market you're in, think of the possibilities. What websites could you target where you can attract people who would be interested in what you're doing? If you're in the weight loss industry, JennyCraig.com, WeightWatchers.com, Sensa.com. If you're promoting some sort of fitness program, there's the P90X distributors. I forget what their name is. CrossFit websites. You name it. So you can keep going. Let your imagination go wild as to potential targets. In this case, because I'm offering training for network marketers and I'm selling tools for network marketers, I'm going to target network marketing websites and any place that a network marketer would visit. Now, who thinks that this is pretty simple? I mean, right now, give me some feedback as to what you think of the strategy as far as using PPV. Can you guys think of a few websites to target for your offer? Yeah, Jonathan says pretty simple. It's pretty awesome. So if you were in weight loss, if you were promoting a weight loss offer, uh, what websites? Tell me right now through the question box. What websites could potentially offer? You probably know more websites than I do. I already said Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers.
Biggest Loser.
There you go. Nutrisystem. Someone just said Nutrisystem. Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who else would I throw?
who else?
I
Who
don't
else?
know.
You
Weight
probably
loss nights. 4 Hour Fitness. I don't know.
Visalis. There you go. The 90,
Oh yeah, you could target other
yeah,
MLMs that are
yeah,
really
90-day
yeah.
challenge. So it's right. So it's pretty straightforward. Like this is as simple as PPV gets. You just get creative with the URLs, and you literally with PPV you literally have billions of options. Um, all you need with PPV is we recommend MediaTraffic.com. It's a one of the PPV networks. It's great for beginners and people on low budgets. If you have a bigger budget, but also a beginner, LeadImpact.com. Their minimum is actually $1,000 initial ad spend. So meaning you have to deposit $1,000 and you can use that up over time. But that's how they basically keep the network pretty high quality. But media traffic is pretty good, and I think their requirement is only like $100 or so. So it's pretty cool. All you need is a simple capture page and an offer that works. You don't even need an ad. The pop up is your capture page, and you just need to get creative with URLs to advertise on. So you literally have billions of options. Any website on the planet is an option as far as PPV is concerned. Let me let me skip this part. That slide shouldn't be there. So that's pretty much that. So that's pretty much what a $24,000 per year business looks like. Now this is what a six figure business looks like. If you want to take it to the next level and scale your business, you're focusing on traffic. Now you want to scale it so that you grow it to six figures and potentially quit your job. This is what it looks like. Same exact components as before that we talked about, but now you take more responsibility for your business. Now you focus on customizing your own capture page and some of the emails as well. So now you're creeping up. Now you're taking control of your capture page and the email communications that are going to your prospects. Yet you're still sending them to whatever offer you were promoting before, MLSP, MOB, whatever it was. Now what this does is now that you've gotten your feet wet, you've gotten some results, you're making some money. It allows you to improve and optimize your conversions on the front end, and you allow the system owner to take care of everything else. One of our students, Kate and Andrew McShay, they were students of ours as of last year. They went to No Excuses, had zero results. After No Excuses, they took action. They focused on a traffic source. They drove traffic to actually MLSP. They focused on MLSP as their initial offer. They used the default capture pages of MLSP, and they started making some money. I think at the time that we started working with them closely, they were making about maybe $3,000 per month. So that's pretty good. If you multiply $3,000 or $3,000 times 12, that's more than $24,000 that they were making per year, which is the exact blueprint I showed you before. But as soon as they came to one of our workshops, the exact workshop that No Excuses 5 is based on, we gave them some tips on how they can take control of their capture page. We gave them the exact capture page that I just showed you guys, that plain white with a red headline. They took that one on and used it for themselves, for their business, to promote MLSP, and their conversion rates literally doubled. They went from producing 50 leads a day to 100 leads a day overnight.
And can we say that, and Bill and I can say that we're very happy for them because we introduced them to MLSP and MOB.
Awesome. So
we were very happy that you guys showed them all this.
There you go. We're a community. We all work together.
Yes, they're awesome. They're an awesome couple.
And so this is all they did, and pretty much they were able to scale their business to be a six-figure business. And it's pretty awesome in working with them. And I'm going to tell you more about Andrew and Kate McShay because they didn't stop here. They didn't settle for six figures. the next step, if you didn't figure it out already, is how we took them to multiple six figures. So, but this was their blueprint to get to six figures. And so building a lead funnel is very simple. That's essentially what I described here. This is what I call a lead funnel, where you're just focused on the lead portion of it. The sales portion of it, you let the system owner take care of. So it's not a sales funnel yet that they've created or that you've created. It's a lead funnel. So I want to make that distinction. So building a lead funnel means you construct a capture page. There's a thank you page where you maybe have a welcome video and some instructions after they opt in. And maybe you start writing a few of the first emails. And then you let the system owners take over and do all the follow-up stuff. But you want to do this initial interaction. The reason why, especially the thank you page and those first emails, what you're doing here is you're making a connection with people. You're letting them know that you're nothing, you're no one special. You're an average person, and you're reassuring them that they can do it too. And you're welcoming them. You're making them feel good. This is where the human side of marketing comes in. And no amount of sales copy or fancy marketing tricks can replace that personal connection. And that personal connection is simply made by being yourself and letting people know that you care. Because I would tell you, most online funnels, most online offers don't let people know that. They're anonymous offers. They don't really create that connection with people. So that's the advantage that you can have over every single offer out there. And just a very quick lesson. That's an example of a unique selling proposition. A USP in a crowded internet marketing world where there's offers left and right. What can make you unique? What can make you stand out? Well, it's being yourself and letting people know you care and giving them access to you. That's a unique selling proposition. And that's something no one can replace. And so trust me, if you're making that connection, you're gonna form that relationship with that person, and they're going to buy whatever it is you're promoting. Now, at our $5,000, I want to return to my $5,000 workshop that we don't do anymore. So don't worry, I'm not selling this to you. But what we did here at these $5,000 workshops was exactly what I just described. People used to pay us $5,000 to help them build a lead funnel. So meaning drive traffic and build their capture page. And one of our students over the past year at these workshops were Andrew and Kate McShay. They attended our $5,000 workshop. And with their lead funnel, we got them going to making about $5,000 per month with their lead funnel. And that eventually grew to about $8,000 per month. Man, my Mac is going crazy right now. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Anyway, so Andrew and Kate McShay for me are the model students because they did exactly what we told them to do. They didn't think too hard about things. They just took action. And so as a result of that, there's a few more testimonials. I'm just going to skip these. A lot of people have produced results with their lead funnels. David Araga did 175 leads in one weekend with PPV and Facebook. Made a bunch of sales afterwards. Cesar Rodriguez, who's a six-figure earner, also came to our workshop and produced 700 leads in that same week. But at our last workshop, we had 100 success rate, 100% success rate, like I told you guys before. And the key thing here was the key to our success, or the key to the success of our students, was because we were able to directly mentor them. We did what Michelle described earlier. We told them exactly what to do, and they didn't question what we asked them to do. They just did it, and they just put that trust in us. And when you have that direct mentorship, this is what can happen. Andrew and Kate McShay, after that workshop, decided to work directly with us. And we helped them build out the rest of that sales funnel. And they went from 0 results last year at No Excuses 4 to a couple months ago having their first $24,000 month. And they now generate over 100 leads every single day and are actually going to be trainers at No Excuses 5 this year. That's how quickly things can turn around. And so just because you're progressing from a 24K business to a six-figure business and you're doing it in steps does not mean it has to go slowly. You just have to complete one step before you do the other. And so similar results was Ken Faminoff. He did multiple six figures in less than 8 months doing exactly that, progressing through those steps that I described. And so what we did for these individuals, including Andrew and Kate McShay, going back to this blueprint, is we help them now construct the entire thing. So how we took Andrew and Kate McShay from six figures to multiple six figures with a 24K per month business is we told them, okay, now scrap all the system emails, create all your emails custom for your list. You're not going to use the system emails anymore. And we also helped them create and construct their own offer. So they launched their first product. They did their own internal launch to their list. So all the people that became leads over the past year for them, they launched an offer to them, and all of a sudden we're gushing money, and that's how they basically had their first $24,000 month, and have been doing multiple five figures every single month since then. And it's because they took control of their entire sales process. So while these systems, these other systems that you're promoting are great and get you a great start, ultimately you're going to make the most money by doing more, taking on more of the responsibility yourself. So that's essentially how you get to multiple six figures. Now, you may be asking at this point, how do you now? Okay, that's fine and dandy. How do you get to seven figures? You get to seven figures in a very simple way. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to use this pen tool here. You get to seven figures by doing this. There we go. I'm drawing with my mouse. You make more offers to the people that already bought products from you. You give them something of value, advanced training. For most people, this is going to be uh, advanced training of some kind. So this is maybe some basic training. This is more advanced training. It could be a coaching program, whatever it is. So you'll notice in most seven-figure businesses, they have upsells, they have other offers, and those offers are more expensive than the previous offers. So if you want to know the secret to going seven figures, it's taking a business that's already doing six figures or multiple six figures and adding one more component, which is more offers. Michelle has this down pat. She not only promotes MLSP as an offer, she also has her own products. So she has her own offer. She also has Mob that she's bringing into. It's a high end coaching program or high end program. That would be an example of an upsell. So that's how Michelle's on her way to having if not a very close to seven figures, an actual seven figure business as a result of adding that one other component to her business. Michelle, is there anything you wanted to add to this drawing? Because that's pretty much as simple as it is as far as going to seven
Yeah.
figures.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love the way that you map this out for everybody, and I know that everybody looks at this and they saw how Kate and Andrew went through that progression, and just you showing this in general, and how I want everybody to really understand that even though it looks a little more advanced, when you start adding in upsells, you might be already going, okay, well, I don't even know what I would do for an upsell or coaching. When you said I'd offer advanced coaching, this and that, don't go there yet, because
Exactly.
you've got to master the beginning part of it, the simple steps. And always remember that oftentimes people want the success that they see other people having, but they're not willing to take that path first to get there. So
Right.
you've got to remember, even though you're seeing here, that should be your end goal, but you want to take those baby steps in the beginning to create that path. Go simple. And then all that stuff will start fitting into place easily for you as you get to that point when you're ready. I wasn't ready to start creating my own offers or changing up my emails when I was starting out. I only did that when I was ready. And that's what you're going
Mhm.
to realize for those of you that are really kind of new at this and grasping this now and thinking, okay, this is a light bulb moment. Now I know what I need to do. Just
Yep.
take it step by step, keep it simple.
Yeah. I mean, this is first step, second step,
Mhm.
third step, fourth step.
And once it starts working, yeah, then you can start tweaking it. Once you start making a little bit of money with it, then you start adding in things and you start beefing it up. Like Kate and Andrew did, where they rewrote all their emails, like you said.
Yep. Yeah. So it really is as simple. So breaking it down to build a sales funnel, it's no longer a lead funnel. It's now a sales funnel because you're actually taking responsibility for the sales, meaning you have your own merchant account and all that stuff. Is obviously you have the portion that's a lead funnel. You eventually create your own product. It doesn't have to be an info product. It could be an actually physical product depending on the niche you're in. Um, and now you'll need to be able to process your own payments, meaning your own merchant account, shopping cart. Now, if you're new, this is intimidating, and this is a whole new world, and as it should be. You're not ready for that yet. You don't need this yet. Some people never get here. Some people never do this. Some people are able to work with a lead funnel and actually never create their own product and produce multiple six figures or even seven figures in a few cases. So it doesn't mean you have to do all this. But generally speaking, the more you take on, the more responsibility you take on as part of your funnel, the more money you're going to make. That's the bottom line. So the more sales funnel components you control, the more money you will likely make. It's not going to be the same for everybody. I know I set specific dollar amounts for every step, but it can vary. Some people will make more money at each step than others, and that's just the way life works. But that's the most important thing about this webinar that I wanted to convey to you guys. If you're overwhelmed, is you need to keep things simple and take it step by step. Now, I want to get some feedback from you guys. Now that we're coming to the close of this webinar, does this clarify things for you? Does this make things a lot simpler, especially if you've been in the state of overwhelm for a while? How has this webinar helped you? Is this helping you, keep things simple and clarify things? Just waiting for responses here on the question box.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now all the yeses are flooding in. Lots of very good work. Clarity. So finally, I have clarity, someone says. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Awesome.
I know I did a lot of the talking here. I wanted this to be a little more interactive, but there's a lot of content here. And I wanted this to really sink in for you guys. So Stanley says it helps a lot. Simplicity is the best. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm so glad you guys are on this. Now, someone's asking, how do you turn this into a residual income? Well, it's a residual income by the fact that that everything's automated. You're not an active salesperson for this process. You're driving the traffic. You set the ads, and maybe you do some administrative stuff for an hour or two a day, and the rest of the rest of the funnel is already built, and it's just churning, and you're just letting sales come into your email inbox, sales notifications. The best emails I get every single day are the emails that say you just made X amount of dollars because somebody purchased this. And I know that's money that's coming straight into my bank account because obviously I have control over the entire sales process. So that's what you have to look forward to.
Cool. It's cool because we have multiple streams of income. It's something we've always done. And, just today, I go to the mailbox, I get an AWeber check. I don't even promote AWeber. I promoted it somewhere along the way in my funnel. And, people buy AWeber because they know they need an autoresponder, so we get a check from AWeber. That's how you create that residual income. You like you said, you put it in that. Obviously, we make it make sense in our emails. Here's why you need one. We don't just promote it. We actually explain why people need this if they want to be successful.
Right, it makes sense. And it's funny, 2 days ago, I got an email saying that I just made $1,200 from EMP. And I think I mentioned EMP in one of my blog posts a long time ago.
Yep.
I haven't even been actively promoting EMP myself personally. Our company has, but not myself. Yet now we have such a brand that people obviously know who I am and they follow what I'm doing. Someone hops on my website, they see a link, and they buy something. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling in the world when you unexpectedly make money.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. And some people are asking, is this being recorded? Yes, it is being recorded, so you guys can revisit this later on, definitely.
Yeah, I'll send it out, and I'll also post it on the fan page.
All right, so some actions for you guys to take now that you have all this down, or hopefully got some clarity, and you guys will get some the video recording of this. You'll need to find an offer that's converting. I mean, if you're part of Michelle's list, chances are whatever she's promoting is making her money. Therefore, maybe you should try it. Hint, hint.
Just send me an email. Just ask me.
Send Michelle an email. She'll tell you what's working for her, and she'll find an offer that's suitable for your budget.
There you go.
Focus on learning and mastering traffic. Hint, hint. Again, go back to Michelle. This is easy. Create a simple lead funnel. So this is where you can benefit from what I'm going to talk about next. Creating a simple lead funnel. again, you start with traffic, but eventually you move on to creating your own funnel, and it starts with taking it piece by piece, a bite at a time, and get leads, make money, optimize, and improve. You're not going to get it perfect the first time. Andrew and Kate McShay certainly didn't have it perfect the first time, obviously because they were generating. By the time they got to us, they were generating 50 leads on their own, and then we're like, this cash page is horrible. Get rid of all this stuff. Change this. Do this. Change that. And we tore it up. And what happened after that interaction was they doubled their lead flow. And as a result, they doubled their income. So, so that's the value of mentors. They help you see what you can't see. But still, I don't think they were complaining at the point where they were making $2,000 a month using a capture page that wasn't the best in the world. They were still making money. So the point is, take action and improve later. Eventually, you want to create your own offer if you ever want to do that. It's not mandatory, but it has to happen after you've done what's above. Find a six-figure mentor ASAP. You need to plug. Obviously, you guys are already plugged in with Michelle. Stick with Michelle. Michelle is always on the lookout for offers that work. She does her own testing. She's spending all the money on advertising on Facebook to figure out what works and what's not. So chances are, if she is glued to something and promoting it vigorously, then chances are it's working pretty well. A six-figure mentor shortcuts your learning curve, and they do the testing that they could afford to do, but maybe you can't afford to do it yet. But you can still benefit from their testing and their experience. Now, we want you to begin a mentorship. We want to talk about a mentorship opportunity with us, and it ties into the No Excuses Summit and what we talked about earlier in this webinar. I got a message right now from somebody that says, I've taken action with Facebook PPC. I have 1,700 fans on my fan page, but I know something is wrong. I haven't made any sales. I will go back to the training to see what's wrong, but there's something wrong. And that's where a mentor can help you see what you can't see. And the opportunity with No Excuses this year is you don't even have to leave your home. I mean, it'd be great if you can join us live. If you want to join us live, it's actually the best way to experience No Excuses because you can actually have conversations with us and we can help you personally and we can network and start that relationship. I've made so much money from live events, it's ridiculous. And Michelle, as a result of going to No Excuses, we got to know her personally. And she made a lot of money coming out of No Excuses 2 back when she was brand new, and created relationships that have resulted in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for her business. So those relationships are important. But if you can't make it for whatever reason, then join us through live stream. I mean, you can't be there. We're sold out on tickets, but if you want to be there in person, email my support at noexcusesummit.com in case any cancellations arise. But absolutely, everybody on this webinar should be investing in the live stream virtual ticket for No Excuses. And the reason why is because everything we talked about on this webinar, we walk you through step by step. Everything that is required, everything that Michelle did when she got started, everything I did when I got started, everything every single leader that you follow online did when they got started is going to be mapped out at No Excuses. And not only do we teach it to you, we have you do it. We have you do it and follow along with us through our tightly controlled curriculum. So that's everything I shared with you earlier. So now you have some context as to how this workshop works. Everything we did on this webinar that I walked you through, this step, this progression, we walk you through at the No Excuses Summit through this workshop approach. We first have you build your lead funnel. Then we have you start driving traffic. And then we move into advanced strategies and optimization. And then we get into some heavy stuff on the third day with Michelle and Diane Hockman on some sales psychology and some of the things that are different as it relates to social media and Facebook that can definitely help you. This is understanding what they understand about the psychology of social media and social media marketing will be immensely valuable to you. I can't put a dollar amount to it if I tried. I just know that what the difference between those that make it and don't are the people that understand those intangibles, the things that are in between the lines. You may be able to do the how-to, the step-by-step stuff, but if you understand finally how it works, then you're able to create it over and over again. You can do it for any offer. You see Michelle as a master of it because she promotes multiple offers. She has multiple streams of income. Therefore, she's something. Therefore, that means she understands something fundamentally about marketing that allows her to branch out to multiple things. As a beginner, do I recommend that you do multiple things? Absolutely not. You should be laser focused on one thing because at this point in your growth, that's all you can handle, and that's okay. We were all there, but eventually you want to get there. So this session with Michelle and Diane is going to be awesome, and I'm going to be moderating it, and I think there's going to be some wine involved, right?
Yes, wine. And you nailed it perfectly. And I'm going to go share that on my Facebook fan page. But, I don't think that I've ever said that. But you just saw something in me and Diane that makes a lot of sense. I can teach the how-tos of a lot of things, but it's the psychology and the in between the lines of it that make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I can put up a Facebook ad, leverage my brand or leverage my fan page or do a news feed ad, there's a there's a methodology behind the way we structure those status updates, a psychology behind it, and things like that. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm excited about this whole session is Diane and I are going to really, we do things we're very much alike, but yet we do also do things differently on Facebook. So that's what gets me so excited about this one training that we're going to do, and that you're going to obviously do some moderating on and get some questions and feedback from the audience.
I'm just gonna sit back and let you guys go, let you guys have at it while I drink some wine.
It's gonna be like the best session of the whole event.
I
don't think you realize that yet. You just wait.
And so obviously, and it's not just Michelle and Diane. We have a team of advanced trainers who are going to help you take it to the next level.
I mean, look at those faces there. I know every single one of them. Great trainers.
And I'm excited. Yeah, this is what I'm excited about. I mean, you want to talk about an advanced strategy? Jim Yagi is coming out of retirement, and he's flying in from the Middle East to teach on Google AdWords. Yeah. The first viable strategy since 2008 on how to market an online business with Google AdWords. So he'll be talking about that stuff. Now, if you choose, so Don Selleck said, "I'm so disappointed that No Excuses was scheduled when it was. I have another commitment. But will there be any other opportunities to access this training before No Excuses 6? Well, Don, with the live stream, not only will you be able to join in live, you can also buy the recordings right now. So if you, for whatever reason, can't watch it live, then you can actually watch it later if you choose to invest in the recordings. And for people on this webinar only, if you're watching this slide right now, then we're going to throw in our entire library of courses if you choose to invest in the No Excuses live stream and recordings. Now, our entire library is not just more stuff to put on your plate to overwhelm you. This stuff goes into detail with regards to all the different components that I described earlier and all the stuff that we'll be going into during No Excuses. If you want to get the next level training, the more advanced stuff, we give you our library so that you can go more into depth and be able to optimize and improve everything you do out of the No Excuses Summit. So these courses, in addition to Michelle as a mentor, will help you take things to the next level. And this I want to address something about strategic buying things strategically because it makes sense versus buying it because there's a launch and it's hot. I recommend to my students that they invest in a course only if it has something to do with what they are already engaged in. Meaning, if they started working on Facebook ads as a result of being a part of No Excuses 5, and they got their beak wet with Facebook ads, but they want to get better at it, then they obviously at that point they're going to seek out the best trainer with regards to Facebook advertising. We have our course, which actually includes training from Michelle that we give you for free as part of this offer. This course normally sells for $100 by itself, and so it has Michelle in it. Training has more advanced stuff than we cover at No Excuses, and also if you want to take it to the next level, now you have Michelle as a mentor, whose stuff you can invest in to take it to the next level. That's what it means to be strategic with your investment in courses, as opposed to chasing shiny objects. And so I know Michelle's going to talk about a few bonuses that she's offering But I just want to wrap this up real quick and give people an opportunity to buy with their link. We're also going to give you access to a 30-day trial of EMP for the purposes of giving you access to their very simple, very easy to use capture page builder. So if you're one of those people who's not very tech savvy, you don't know the first thing about building a website, that's very intimidating to you. Well, this tool allows you to build a website in under 5 minutes or less. And we're actually going to be using this at no excuses, which is why we're giving you a free trial to it. If you want to use your own website, your own system later on, that's fine. Um, we don't care if you keep it or not. We just want to be able to use this to keep everybody on the same page for the event itself. So the capture page builder with an EMP is a primary reason why we're giving this trial. And you can create beautiful capture pages like this one right here, or you can create ugly ones like the one I showed you earlier that works really well. And we give you some other bonuses with what's working now. Tons of value here, almost $8,000 in total courses and value. This is actual retail value that we're assigning to this. If you came to our workshop over the past few years, every single person paid $5,000. And Michelle, you can attest to that because you promoted these workshops. You know what people paid.
Yeah.
And so now No Excuses has become these workshops without the big price tag. And
And I have to say, I've been doing a private column in What's Working Now for almost 2 years now. That I share a lot of stuff inside of there. So that's great that you're giving that bonus away too, because I don't put that out typically to the public. It's only within that publication.
awesome. So you get more, Michelle. Great.
Yeah, more.
So joining us live to the live stream for No Excuses is $497. And if you want to get the recordings, it's only $100 more to get the recordings as well. So you can basically, this is the price of a ticket. So if you came live to the event, this is what it would cost you. It would cost you $497 for a ticket. But you can get the live stream access, join us live, or get the recordings. And pretty much have this in your arsenal. Have all the training that walks you through producing the first results in your business. So this event this year is not about inundating you with a bunch of information from a bunch of speakers. We actually reduce the number of trainers that we have available. The reason why is because we want to focus first on results, get you guys results, walk you through step by step everything you need to do, so that by Saturday night you're producing traffic and leads, and then we can focus on the more advanced stuff, the sexy stuff, etc. So this event is the first half of this event is designed for people who are not producing the results they want to produce in their business. And if you want to join us live stream, the live stream sales close on Friday. It's on June 27th to the 29th, so that's when you have to tune in, starting on Friday at noon. If you want to access to all the bonuses I talked about today, our entire library, you have to purchase by tonight. Meaning by midnight tonight, Eastern time, you have to get your access to live stream. Well, you can choose to get the live stream, by Friday if you want to join in, even without those courses. Regardless of whether you get the bonuses, you're going to get results if you do everything we tell you to do. Michelle, is there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that, because you mentioned, I know a lot of people on here, came through our list and came through our fan page. So I'm assuming a lot of you might be doing Facebook traffic too. And one of the things that I could definitely throw in there, and some of you probably already have this, maybe you don't, but I could add this as an extra bonus, is to definitely give you our Facebook ads course that we have that just focuses on Facebook ads. I can throw that in with it also if you get this tonight. So that'll help you, really, I have several courses out there that cover Facebook ads at kind of different levels. There's some advanced ones, and then there's some kind of simpler ones. But I could definitely throw that in. And then also, if you're interested in throwing in a little Twitter with that, I can also throw in my Twitter PPC course
Wow.
with that too, which
That's awesome.
is, I think Twitter and Facebook go really well hand in hand, because you can connect your Facebook fan page. So every time you post a status update on your fan page, it kicks out as a tweet on Twitter. And it makes Twitter, I like to use Twitter. I mean, just because it's easy to incorporate with Facebook if you're using your fan page.
Right.
So yeah,
awesome, Michelle.
throw that in if you guys get access to that. I mean, I think, I hope you guys learned a lot tonight. I don't know if there's any questions there, but you learned a lot tonight. And that you see that these, Fernie and his crew over there, this workshop's going to be, no excuse, going to be a little different format this year. And, I'm glad he's able to show you what they're going to be doing, because I love this workshop style. And, if you guys out there or gals out there are missing some of these components out there, this is going to really put it together for you, and you can go through the process. If you're missing the way to create a capture page, I mean, he's giving you a 30-day free trial, to a way to be able to create those offers and walk you through this entire process. So thank you so
Awesome.
much, Bernie. I mean, this was really a wealth of
Yeah.
information. I hope it brought some clarity.
Well, let me if it hasn't happened already, let me throw another offer here. For those of you who for the first 10 people who get the live stream out of this webinar, you can email me at fernie@noexcusesummit.com. And before, after no excuses, 3 months after, up to 3 months after no excuses, you can email me and I will schedule a 30-minute consultation to help you in any way I can over the phone. For the first 10 people that get the live stream, you'll get on the phone with me, and whatever you've created out of no excuses, I'll critique it, I'll help you improve it, and make sure it really it kicks ass. We've done it in person with 100% success rate. So, how many people we get? What percentage we get to succeed out of this event at this scale? I'm hoping it's 80%. But if you're on the phone with me, and I get to walk you through some stuff, I'm pretty sure I can pretty much assure your results. But you have to take action now. Get your live stream, or get the recordings. They're both available. Somebody, Mary says she already got the live stream. She and her husband invested it in it. And so, Mary, to you, because you took action, you're on this webinar. I'm going to give you these bonuses that I talked about as well, including that phone call with me. So,
Well, that's huge.
so
Guys,
congr-
I don't think you understand. That's like, I would like, that's kind of like a safety net. You go through all this and then you get Fernie on the phone to actually critique and look at what you've set up and you've learned from this workshop and tweak it so you can get success. I mean, that's huge. I love that. Because
yeah,
like I was like sitting there watching the success stories that you were having with like Kate and Andrew. I was like, dang, should have been nice if I would have invested in that early on too.
you know,
To get you guys to tear up my funnel, I probably would have saved us even more time. But yeah, that's
oh, yeah,
awesome.
and what's interesting is somebody in this industry, a leader you guys all know, um, a couple months ago actually paid me for a consult, paid me $1,000 for an hour of my time, and I helped them with their funnel that they were using for PPV, and so this is something I'm getting paid for right now by
That's
people that
huge.
are on the six-figure level. So you guys are getting it as a bonus for free. I mean, if you understand, the benefit of that, then you'd get this live
Yeah.
stream just for that. But
Thank you.
but I won't
That's so nice.
I won't I
Thank
won't
you.
I won't inflate my ego too much.
Well, I feel like, people got to hear you tonight, and, I wouldn't have had you on unless you were, someone of integrity and you do have a big heart, because I'm very protective over my list and our fans, and, we want to make sure that, we bring quality people on. And so I hope everybody heard tonight, your heart, and heard how real you are, and that you do want to help people. And if you didn't hear it, you've got to take my word for it, because I wouldn't have somebody on this, webinar with us tonight, or promote something like this, if
Yeah,
I didn't believe in it. So
absolutely.
thank you, Fernie.
Well, you're welcome. And George says he's currently promoting EMP or promoting MS, having
Awesome.
is struggling. And George, I'm telling you, this is what you need. We've had people promoting the exact same things that they're promoting at our workshop, promoting it before with no success. They come to our workshop. There's a few things they discover they were missing out of what they were doing, and they start producing results. So I invite you to be a part of this live stream. I mean, I shouldn't need to offer bonuses, all that stuff, but obviously that motivates you guys. I am
Yeah.
confident that what you're going to get through no excuses in and of itself is going to be, revolutionary, life changing for a lot of you guys. There's no training like this out there. There's no event or training or course in this entire industry that will walk you through this the creation of something and help you build it in one weekend. It just doesn't exist. We're a first. This is the evolution of our experiment here, and we want to see if we can do using the exact same curriculum. We can do it on a mass scale. We can do it with those people that are in person, and that we can do it with those people that are tuning in through live stream, and that we can do it through the people that decide to invest in the recordings, which they can get to this link. So, Michelle, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to
Thank
take any
you.
questions if people have them.
You have the question box. I don't think I do.
Oh, I never. That's right. Let me make you organizer so you can see that. All right, so guys, if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them now. I know we're past the 90-minute mark, so uh, if you guys have them, I'm happy to answer them. Even on about no excuses or
Yeah.
marketing. Otherwise, well, I think we'll call it a wrap.
Awesome. Yeah, I will be. There's a couple of questions real quick. I will be sending the bonuses out for all of you. I'll see who bought the live stream. I'll get that. Just give me about a
Yeah.
week to make sure that I get through that and get those bonuses out. If you missed any part of this webinar, I'll get the recording out. I'll post it on the fan page. We'll post it on Bill's fan page, and I'll also email those of you that are on our subscriber list. Fernie, if you don't see any other questions, I appreciate you coming out tonight and sharing this value with everyone. I think everybody should definitely, if you're not coming to No Excuses, get the live stream. It's going to be an awesome workshop for you to go through and to see all the amazing trainers out there. And then if you're coming, which would be awesome too, make sure you find us so we can definitely meet you if we haven't ever met you in person.
Okay, someone has a recording. Well, there are a few people that say they're going to invest in getting the recordings because they have a prior commitment that weekend. That's okay, as long as you commit to going to those recordings. The record now know that the recordings will not be available for about 6 weeks after the event because we have to edit them and it has to go through production, which we pay a lot of money to get done in a high quality way. So there's going to be the live streaming event, and then the recordings will be released about 6 weeks later. So if you get only the live stream, then you have to tune in that weekend. If you get the live stream and the recordings, then you can basically tune in anytime. So if you can't tune in that weekend, then get the recordings, and the benefit of everyone should get the recordings. The reason why is because we're walking you through a process that you can go through over and over again for any offer. So let's say you do something with no excuses this time, but later on you want to launch a different offer, then all you have to do is just go through the recordings again, step by step, to construct this new offer for whatever new thing you're promoting, and presto, you have a new funnel built in a single weekend. And trust me, if you try to do this stuff on your own without no excuses, the shortest time I've ever seen anyone create it is about 6 months. Most people take about a year to 2 years to produce a lead funnel and actually get leads for the first time, in my experience. So we're eliminating about a year to 2 years out of your time spent in your business. George is asking, how would you go about attaching affiliate links with capture pages if you aren't part of a program or MLM?
I told
Uh,
him to send me a private email. I know George.
okay, great. Okay, great.
But unless you want to answer it, you can. But
Well,
that seems it
I'm not
might be
sure.
a little.
I'm not sure I understand the question, so I'm not sure I can.
Yeah, that's why I told him just send me an email. So George, yeah, definitely send me an email. I know who he is, so that's good.
So, so those who have already purchased, to claim your bonuses, email mysupport at noexcusesummit.com. So if you've already purchased, are on this webinar, or you're purchasing tonight, mysupport at noexcusesummit.com. Send an email saying you were on the webinar with Fernie and Michelle, and you want to claim your bonuses. That's all you need to say. We'll take care of you. We'll give you access to. There's also prep. The one thing I didn't mention, which I should have mentioned, it's silly. There's prep materials. So there's things you have to do before the event
Yes.
to get going, to prepare for it. It's not a lot of work, but it is very important. You have to do some simple things like create a few accounts, get an Aweber account, get set up with certain things so that you're ready and you're in the best possible shape. And we're actually, this Wednesday, we're having a webinar for attendees and live streamers only that walk you through that preparation process. And so at that point, you'll have about a week to get everything in order so you can be in the best possible position to produce results out of no excuses. You can't show up at no excuses, or you can't tune in via live stream cold turkey without doing this prep work. Otherwise, you'll be playing catch up the entire weekend.
Is
Uh,
Mary supposed to contact somebody? Do I need to give an email?
yeah, I mean, just my support at no excuses summit.com.
Okay.
You can email there.
Okay. That's all the questions I see. Do you see
Okay,
any more?
Ramel just purchased. Ramel, I'll check. We'll let you know if you're one of the first 10. Um,
Okay. It's Friday,
but
the deadline for live
yeah,
stream ticket.
shoot me an email at FERNY. So my name is Fernie with an F, not Bernie. FERNY at noexcusesummit.com. Shoot me an email and let me know that you purchased, that you're on this webinar, and I'll reply back, let you know if you were one of the first 10. And Friday, and someone's asking, is Friday the deadline for buying live stream tickets, uh, including bonuses? No. The deadline for getting the bonuses is tonight. You got to purchase by midnight Eastern time. But as far as getting the live stream access, the deadline is Friday. So you still have to Friday to get the live stream, but if you want the bonuses that I talked about tonight, you have up until midnight. Any issues with that, please email support. Awesome. All right, Michelle, I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you, Fernie, and thank you for everybody that came out tonight. And